Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. People underestimate silver's true potential, its true value. I am going to be explaining why silver has more value, more potential than gold, and what has happened. Why have people deemed silver worthless? Why have they devalued silver? I'm going to be explaining that as well. So if you are ready for this video, if you love precious metals, make sure to smash the like button. Let's see if this video can get 300 likes. Also, make sure you're subscribed and turn on post notifications because I post daily videos, 2 to 3 videos per day, giving you the newest, latest, freshest, most up-to-date, recent information in the world of precious metals. I am your guide. This is your channel. The link to this article from MarketWatch will be in the description. Like I always say, do your homework, do your research like I do. Now, before we jump into the article, let me give some backstory. Now, for the past century, actually, 1930, so almost a century, 1930, FDR changed the gold to silver ratio from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1. You heard me correctly. 16 to 1. All the way to 75 to 1. Basically overnight. This was in the 30s. FDR did this. This is a fact, right? This is a fact. Now, what that did was basically put silver at such a worthless state compared to gold. It never recovered since then. And there's no reason for it, right? Historically, back in the day, in biblical times and ancient Egyptian times, the ratio was 2.5 parts silver equals 1 part gold. 2.5 to 1. Gold was only, silver was basically half the value of gold. See, back then, they understood silver's true value. Silver was magical to them. It could purify water, the way it responded with different elements. Silver can still do all those things today, but it's actually it should be worth more in today's type of technological world we've advanced in, since silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity, especially as we advance and everything is digital, everything's electronic. So silver is heavily intertwined into all of the stuff, from you watching this video on your phone or laptop, all the way to space equipment, to solar panels, to medical, medical equipment. There's colloidal silver for the medical world. It's in everything. Silver nanoparticles. And it's only looking like we're going to need more of it as we get into 5G technology, as we get into electric vehicles, and as we go green. Photovoltaic cells for solar panels. We're going green. Silver is needed for everything under the sun. Gold is used more for coinage, more for bars, more for jewelry. So since we need so much silver, I don't see how it could be 80 times cheaper than gold when all gold is used for is essentially coins. Yes, there is some gold in cell phones. I used to scrap it out myself, but there's not that much, especially compared to silver. If you look at silver demand, 50% of it is for industrial uses. Gold is a lot lower for industrial uses. So what this means is, I'll get to the article in a second. What this means is that silver not only benefits from a monetary metal, but also from an industrial metal. So it's a win-win situation. Gold only rises when the economy's in bad shape because it's a safe haven. People turn to gold when they don't trust the governments, when they don't trust banks, and when they want to transfer their money into something that holds its value. Silver does that as well, right? Silver does that as well, but it's also rising when the economy's in good shape. Because when the economy's in good shape, this is when all of the technology, all this stuff is transported across the globe, and silver is intertwined and intervening into all these things, being bought up by these big businesses. So silver is a win-win situation. Silver's rising whether the economy's in bad shape or good shape. There's more potential here. A lot of people don't know this, though. They don't understand this. And you've been conditioned to downplay silver, to downplay precious metals as a whole, because things that have real value, intrinsic value, is a direct threat to the US dollar. They want you to be buying things or to have your money into the dollar, because without that, they cannot control you. If you're a slave, or if you're in debt, you're a slave to the system. Now, let's jump into the article, and I'll probably break some things down as well as we go. So, investors have focused on a rise in record prices for gold, but silver is up about 25% in July. the metal's second biggest monthly gain on record, and it's still undervalued compared with the yellow metal. Still undervalued. Silver is often called the poor man's gold because some of the same factors that cause gold prices to rise do the same thing to silver prices, like I was just talking about. So what is driving gold prices now are mainly the fear of inflation due to the magnitude of the monetary and fiscal stimulus worldwide, like I was mentioning, and the flight to safety due to the uncertainty around how and when the global economy will recover. Silver, however, is cheaper per ounce than gold, and its prices are much more volatile. It's like gold on steroids. Hits higher highs and lower lows. It has also been lagging behind gold's rise, and the ratio of the number of ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold is historically high, implying that either gold is overpriced or silver is underpriced, right? Gold is overvalued or silver is undervalued. Gold, and this is another way to look at it, right? Either gold is going to drop or silver is going to rise. And more than likely, silver is going to be the one rising, because the ratio is going to correct. So either gold has to depreciate or silver has to appreciate. And more than likely, it's going to be silver appreciating. If silver is underpriced, there's a lot of money to be made, says Moy, who was director of the U.S. Mint from 2006 to 2011. So silver futures, the SIU, settled at $24.50 an ounce on July 27th, the highest for a most active contract since August 2013. As of July 30th, it traded about 25% higher this month, but stand nowhere near the record high of $48 from April 2011. In comparison, gold climbed to a record settlement of $1,953 on July 29th, up around 8.5% this month. So silver isn't even half of its record high of $48 or $49, where gold is at its record high. Silver is not even halfway to its all-time high, says Ryan Giannato, director of research at exchange-traded fund issuer Granite Shares. While it's unlikely silver would more than double in immediate future, it's unwise to rule out extreme scenarios. And if you want to talk about crazy silver prices, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're living in crazy times. Not only is this pandemic happening with U.S.-China trade negotiations, with everything that's happening, we also have a 2020 presidential election on our hands coming up as well, and you know that silver, like I mentioned earlier, flourishes from chaos and controversy. So that could be the cherry on top, that could be the icing on the cake to really get things rolling, especially as all of these new investors, these new stackers flood in from stock markets, from cryptocurrency, from everything. Even people that's never invested in their life are getting into gold and silver. Robinhood, applications on iPhones and Androids make it so easy for millennials to invest now, where before you had to actually know how to work an exchange. Nowadays, all you have to do is download an app and click buy. So much easier. It's bringing in a lot new money, a lot more eyes, and it's definitely, and as the price rises, it's definitely gaining more attraction. So it takes more than 80 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Though the ratio has seen a significant decline in recent months, it's still well above the typical gold to silver ratio. It's around 60, and it mentions that. So Ross Norman, CEO of precious metals news and information provider Metals Daily, says the ratio between the metals rose 4,000-year high at 126 on March 18th. And that's true. On March 18th, we made history. Not for a good reason, though. That was the cheapest silver's ever been compared to gold. The ratio is still historically high, suggesting there is a scope for greater gains in silver still. He says gold often looks to silver to authenticate its rally, and if the differential between the two metals becomes too wide, and it has recently, then gold stalls. For now, gold at an all-time high is largely untethered from technical resistance levels. For those looking to invest in the silver market, futures contracts are good for experienced speculators who know how to navigate complicated transactions and have time to take moment-by-moment decisions and compete with financial investment professionals. Most people don't have that. Most people don't have the chance or have the time to look at these charts, these exchanges all day long. I always say invest into the physical bullion. And it goes down here to say that for most individual investors, government-made silver bullion coins are an attractive way to invest. Right? You're in complete control of your money. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. That's a saying of the stackers. If you cannot hold it, you are not in control, and you don't own that. You don't want no third-party, custodian holding it or in some vault halfway across the world. You want to be in complete control of your wealth, especially with something like this. Coins, however, may see steep commission markups, which that's why you got to know where to buy from and what time to buy. There's not always a right time to buy. Sometimes it's better off to hold. You know, holding is just as important as buying, selling, or trading. So silver can trade idiosyncratically and at times violently. So those entering the market may want to consider balancing out exposure with other historically less volatile precious metals such as gold or platinum. Now, I'm not making this video to bash gold, right? I'm not making this video to be a silver pumper. This is the thing. This is the thing. Both metals are good investments. Both metals have potential. They're both intrinsical compared to the US dollar or fiat currency. They're both a great way to go. I personally just think there's a lot more potential with silver. There's a lot more opportunity with silver. It's more affordable. Gold is at the most expensive prices it's ever been in the history of the world. Why would you want to buy something when it's the most expensive ever? Silver isn't even half of that. So silver still has more room to run before it still has literally 60% higher, or 60% more gains before it reaches $50 mark, where it's the all-time highs. Gold is the most expensive it's ever been. Silver is not. And if silver gets back up there, then you better buy it soon, because this will be the lowest we'll be seeing prices from here on out, in my opinion. Not to say that silver is going to be $50 overnight. Not to say it's going to be $50 next week or next month. Maybe even next year, right? Who knows? All I know is that I don't want to mislead you, and I want to bring the reality of these markets. Gold and silver are much slower investments than, let's say, cryptocurrency or the Bitcoin boom or like Tesla stock. But it's definitely preserving your wealth, and it's the smartest, safest investment by far. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you love precious metals, make sure to smash the like button. We have a 300 like goal on this video. We are on the way to 30,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough. This is insane. The amount of attention my channel's been getting just proves how many people are interested in precious metals nowadays, and it's absolutely a beautiful thing to watch. So, shout out to you. Shout out to all the silver stackers out there. Let me know what you think about precious metals or the markets right now, or the prices. Where do you think they're headed? Do you invest into gold and silver, or do you just invest in the silver? Let me know. I'd love to hear that stuff. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.